Let's get into this week in the hobby. Kylian Mbappe makes some headlines with Panini. We've got some new releases to talk about, so we're gonna head right into that with the new basketball this week is 21-22 Optic, which is one of the top tier products for basketball. C-Rad, tell us what you're excited about Optic basketball.
I think just the clean. I've always loved the clean on-card looking autographs from Optic. This is one of the products where. Obviously, I like the base, but the autos are really what shines in the product. Just being able to see the Optic Chrome on card rated rookie logo of these guys is gonna be fun.
And you got photons. Forget about those, man.
Yeah, that's something new that they introduced.
Year.
I think just last year, right? So photon parallels, and they look pretty nice. They are extremely hard to pull, or are they one per case? I can't remember.
They were one per case last year, so I assume. I guess a little bit of controversy. Remember, we had the Optic 70, or what was it, Treasures, or what was that
Prism.
subset?
The 75 years
75th.
of NBA, or 75th anniversary inserts that in Prism basketball had the Optic logo. Now in Optic, they have the Prism logo.
version.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Cross promotion, cross pollinating.
Yeah, I mean, Panini came out. I think it was about a month or two ago, and they said that we did make a mistake. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put obviously they put the Optic versions of it in Prism, and then they're like, so we're just gonna put the Prism version in Optic.
Nah, man, they should have came out and just went like, you know what? We just do some weird and wacky things every once in a while.
Just keeping us on our toes.
Maybe some eBay breakers will sell Prism spots. You get all those. For
Yeah.
And you get all those cards.
Confusing.
Who's people still most excited about for basketball? I know we've had the season's about to start. Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham. Like, what are you seeing mostly in the chat? Like, who are people like, I want this team?
It's still mainly the Pistons right now. I think with the addition of whoever they drafted this past, with the draft with Paolo, I think that the Pistons are still driving the current 21-22 sports cards, because they're usually the first team to go in every break that I've seen.
And the Pistons have been bad for a while, except for that year with Rip Hamilton and
Ben Wallace.
Well,
So,
they had a nice run there in the early 2000s, back-to-back NBA Finals appearances.
Yeah, I think that run went all the way to probably when the Celtics took over the
with
East.
with the big three.
Yeah.
Tayshaun Prince.
So that was a really good run for the Pistons.
Chauncey Billups.
It was also
Chauncey Billups.
it was not only the Celtics team, but if you remember, it was kind of like. It was kind of like the Jordan and Piston thing too. It was like LeBron couldn't get past the Pistons for a while, and then he finally did it, and it was a big deal.
Because that team was literally all defense at that time.
They
right?
were a playoff team pretty recently with Blake Griffin, if I'm not mistaken, for that
like
weird
an A
little,
seed, right?
For that very strange little moment where Blake Griffin was a Piston. But they kind of remind me, and Cade reminds me of with the T-Wolves from a couple years ago, where it's like they're building towards something. And Cade had a really good second half last year. So I think Detroit as a 7-8 seed is not a stretch.
Well, the biggest problem with Detroit was from 2010 till almost now was the fact they were getting the 15th pick every year.
Yeah.
They
were
literally would have they weren't good enough to make it to the playoffs, but they were just on the bubble, and they'd have a 15th, 16th pick, and they just weren't really I mean, you had Dembuya, you had guys that just didn't really live up to their hype, and so now it looks like they're on the right track. That city's a big basketball town.
A few years of higher draft picks has really helped them a lot.
Yeah, so we'll see them competing. Another new release we got this year. For football is the brand new 2022. I think we've had 4 releases now. Is Luminance, and it's actually kind of newly designed with a little bit more foil on it.
Okay.
You're getting 4 hits, and the cards look great. There's been some vet hits. My only question is, sheesh. Is that an acceptable subset name?
That's the time we live in right now, Doug.
And I think moving forward too. Not saying I know what Fanatics is gonna do with some of their products, but I have a feeling, because they want to cater to the younger demographics as well. They're probably gonna start putting these weird these young kid phrases.
Let's go
in their inserts.
I'm trying to think of what other card.
Let's go comes out.
Let's have a little
in the next year, right?
Let's go.
Let's go.
It might already be out. We just missed it, but
let's go. Little foil. Let's go. Little fireworks. Let's go.
This guy F's. You can put that on a card.
I don't know if we're there yet.
But hey, let's go on a little tangent. What do you think? What are some popular sayings that we could put on a card that we're thinking for Panini right now?
Oh, brother.
Cap, no cap.
No cap.
Okay,
Yeah, no cap
right.
actually wouldn't be
Even though that's a phrase that's been around for a while.
You got to help me. What does that mean?
That means I'm not lying. Like no cap, I'm not lying.
It's like
No,
it's like starting a conversation with, "Hey man, I'm gonna be honest."
Dan's all. No, it means this, dude. No cap.
No cap. Hey man, I really did not know.
You couldn't run that in baseball though, because then it might be, well, why does he have a cap on?
Yeah, no cap.
Yeah.
I'll throw in maybe like it's giving. Like I don't know, you could throw that. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's
Yeah.
like it's giving blah blah blah
Yeah,
vibes
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You could
Oh,
do
vibes.
that. Yeah,
Vibes.
yeah. It's giving.
Vibes is a good one. Yeah.
Vibes. Actually, that is the one. Vibes.
That's the one.
It's too bad we didn't do this like 5 years ago for
Vibe-
like the dab insert. You know, I just did a dab
I feel like
in 2022.
putting
What am I
on
doing?
vibes or vibes has been around forever. Is that new?
It
But
is.
it's definitely taken on a different life. Like you
How
just
about we
say
go
the
back and
vibes.
just
use it in a sentence.
Can we just use like gnarly and rad? Can we just go back to like the
Get
the
off
80s?
your lawn.
Yeah, when you Doug, when you threw out the like, let's all think of a phrase, and I'm like, what, like our phrases? Like you want me to say like cowabunga right now? Because like
Nar
you're
nar?
yeah, nar nar.
Nar nar?
Ninja Turtles.
I don't know what the kids are saying right now.
Fart knocker.
I don't know what's cool.
How about a subset or an insert called "Go Dumb"?
Go dumb.
Man, if there was a Bay Area,
I don't-
if there was a Bay Area only team set or something, yeah, I'm all about
I don't-
that.
I
Get
don't know.
stupid.
I don't
Or
know.
how about
I don't.
just hyphy?
Yeah, I don't.
Just hyphy.
That would have been during that.
maybe
generation.
hyphy. I don't think we can do
Yeah,
go
maybe
dumb
not,
or
maybe
get
not.
stupid. I don't think we're. I don't think
that-
I don't think that's
Some
okay.
players wouldn't understand, and they'd be like, "What are you doing to my name?" Go dumb.
But then it'd be the player though
But
from
then-
the
but
Bay
we
Area.
have-
It'd be like
but we
that's
have
respect.
sheesh.
I know. I don't. I can't use it, man. I'm sorry. Get off my lawn. I'm 40. I'm a man. I can't use sheesh. I just can't do it. I just can't. I've adopted phrases that are
And that,
well
and that
a lot younger
essentially
than me.
means like wow, right?
Basically,
Like whoa.
Yep.
I see, but see, I still use it like, oh, sheesh, like, oh, like,
I
oh,
still use that.
brother.
I still use that version of sheesh, but I have adopted this
Yeah.
new sheesh.
Yeah,
as
yeah. I
well.
probably would more likely use that. But
Sheesh.
this one, you got to go up.
I would. There's a lot of other words that I would use
This
that
one
are,
you
that are
gotta-
not acceptable for the show.
to
that
do.
would-
Yeah, right. To do this the right way, you almost got to like squeeze your sack, so you go a little bit higher octave, right?
Sheesh,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, like because the way you said, I was like sheesh, like that, but not like
Yeah.
sheesh.
Doug-
You got to get up.
Doug, you just made me think of what maybe is going to be the #1 insert ever. Anytime an active player in a sport is still playing in that sport at 40 years old, get the "I'm a man, I'm 40" insert.
Yes.
Albert Pujols, the "I'm a man, I'm 40" insert. The Tom Brady, "I'm a man, I'm 40." 5 years running.
Yeah.
With
I'm-
Tom. 6 years running.
I'm building that subset.
I would love that. Give me. I want the all "I'm a man, I'm 40" subset of Brady and Pujols and who do we got? We already mentioned Udonis Haslem.
you-
Second mention on
Can
the
you
show
put
today.
Can you put over the hill like up?
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
might
Speaking of, I'm a
players,
man. I'm 40.
Players unions might have something to say about that.
leather helmet era?
Yep.
Ancient. No, it says reminded me of a tweet I seen, and you might have even retweeted it, and I'm probably gonna mess this up, but I think it was like 20 years ago. Albert Pujols, Serena Williams, and then Albert Pujols hit a home run. Serena Williams was in a game, and Vladimir Guerrero Sr., Dante Bichette, and Biggio,
Craig Biggio,
right?
all
So
had
then
a
it's
hit.
like 20 years later, you had Albert Pujols hit a home run again, Serena Williams in the game. You had Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Kevin Biggio, and Bo Bichette all doing the same things. that
all
happened
got
20
a
years
hit in the
ago.
game. Yeah, pretty wild. Pretty wild.
It was really wild. I was like, wow, that's where we're at. 'Cause
Time. We're all getting older,
We're
and
all-
yet, Serena and Albert still doing their thing.
Now
How about-
Albert Pujols probably played in the same era as Dante Bichette.
Right at the tail
And
end.
probably when Pujols came up, Dante Bichette was probably ending his career.
Yes, almost definitely. Vlad and Albert were almost contemporaries, basically.
Yeah.
Vlad started a little earlier.
A little bit earlier,
but
but
basically
not
contemporaries.
probably maybe 4 or 5 years earlier.
Yeah, just about.
But they were in their prime. They were probably all-stars.
Oh, for sure. They went to a lot of. They
Yeah.
were in a few home run derbies together. In
Yeah.
fact, I want to say.
Yeah. So sheesh.
Sheesh. On a side note, Dan, our friend of the show, Doug Plagans, said that you need to listen to the Bad Religion Christmas songs.
Ooh.
So said
That's
you might
right.
might change your opinion on Christmas songs.
I've seen Bad Religion live. I think that would actually be pretty good. I'm good with like good bands making Christmas albums. I just don't want to hear the same songs that I've been hearing for pretty much 40 years.
I also failed to mention, I believe it's out there, Master of Darkness Christopher Lee, who formerly played Dracula, and also you probably know him from Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, did multiple like spoken word metal albums and did one of a spoken word Christmas metal album, and it rules. So
Wow.
there, I'll throw that into the ring.
That is insane.
That is super niche.
Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds like it's going after a very specific demographic.
very specific demo, i.e. me.
So Mbappe signs an exclusive autograph deal with Panini. I know people have been hunting for Mbappe, and the rumor was that he wanted too much money. Nobody wanted to sign him, or he just didn't want to sign autographs. Well, the deal is done, and they will arrive for the FIFA Road to the National Treasures FIFA Road to the World Cup product, which will
Huge.
release in September, followed by the Prism FIFA World Cup in October, and Eminence in December. So they did announce
We're just
Eminence
going
Soccer.
We're going in big.
We're going in big with
We're going in
Mbappe.
big.
This is going to be crazy, though, because it's going to be like essentially his first rookie. I mean, he's not a rookie anymore, but it's going to be his first autos, which should command a premium.
Did they release the details of the deal, like how much he was getting for this deal or anything like that?
Did we get any details on that one,
I'll,
Cody?
I'll double check right now.
I'm assuming the Eminence is going to come out. It's going to be a World Cup Eminence,
Yes.
not
It doesn't
not just an Mbappe.
Well, it
Eminence.
does say Prism FIFA World Cup Qatar in October and Eminence in December. So it doesn't say Eminence World Cup, though.
It could
says
just be
Eminence.
It could just be Eminence Soccer, just general.
I mean, last time they released an Eminence Soccer, it was World Cup. So I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. Maybe they just didn't type it on there. Looks like he's also going to have Panini authentic autographs on, photographs, soccer jersey or soccer balls and jerseys as well. So
Didn't he just come out in a team set for Topps that had autographs in it?
Yes, I was about to mention there is a PSG team set, and it has autos of him, Neymar, and Messi all in it. It's going to be a massive set when it comes out.
Wow.
And then
Is that an online only thing? I'm assuming.
I'm not entirely
I
sure.
think we have a case, Kevin.
Yeah,
It's like a
actually.
transcendent type of product.
Yeah, he's a central
Got
part of
you.
the Team Pacific 21-22
Got you.
Topps Chrome Paris Saint-Germain team set. No financial details from what I can find, but there will be Panini authentic items that will become available in October on top of all.
Well, it looks like they've kind of locked Mbappe up for a while, right?
It's an interesting move considering everything we've talked about with Topps, like obviously the move when the sticker deal. The World Cup is still locked in with Panini as of right now. But clearly, an interesting move by Panini's part that as Topps was taking more and more soccer licenses to get a guy like Mbappe, who I'd say is probably your top 2 or 3 soccer stars still for collectors right now, maybe number
face
one.
of soccer collecting right now.
I think so. Yeah, I would definitely.
Yeah,
think so.
I think collectors could be comfortable, the soccer collectors, that Panini's going to have soccer for a while. I don't think, well, at least with the World Cup and the stuff like and the stickers.
I mean, they clearly are. I think this to me signals that if they're going to keep anything, they have said, okay, let's at least make sure we lock down this World Cup stuff. But again, this can all change with what. Here's the other thing we've come to know is that anytime Panini's like, here's a huge deal we've just made, here's a huge announcement we just made, Topps and Fanatics swoop in and say, here's an even bigger deal.
So a little chess game back and forth. So we'll see what the next move is.
Yeah, we'll see.
Speaking of Fanatics, we've got Michael Rubin going on the Colin Cowherd show about 2 days ago, the new show that Colin Cowherd has, and talking about the hobby for a snippet or two. And kind of the main points to take out of that was he said redemptions are not acceptable, and he doesn't understand why they exist. So we can touch on that first. We've been in this industry for almost 10 years now, and we understand why there's redemptions. Do you think there's any chance that Michael Rubin can eliminate redemptions? And I'll start with Dan. I should say Fanatics, not just Michael Rubin.
Yeah, we've been doing. I mean, I'm on board. Figure out the logistics of replacing redemptions and not having them in the product. There's certain players that you're going to need, especially rookies, you're going to need to have in the product to sell it. Like, There's certain marquee rookies that you may not get back in time. You're either going to push back the product, but you have to put that player in or those players in. There's no way around it. I'm all ears if I could hear like what they're going to do to try to alleviate redemptions. I think that is been something that we've talked about forever. I think Panini was really on the right track for pretty much a decade where they were honoring expired redemptions. I think that was basically the best thing that they can do in the situation, saying, hey, like, we know it expired in 2 years, but if we ever do get this card back and you really want it and you want to hold out for it, we'll honor it. I always thought that was a great way of handling the situation. But logistically, these players, you have them for like a very limited time. You have these different events over the years. First one specifically for football, you have the rookie photo shoot. These players are only going to be able to sign so many stickers and so many on-card autos in that one session. You're going to have like 25, 30 releases of that category. So redemptions are almost going to be a certainty.
And that's, on card autos, right? So you can only plan so far. One thing that Panini's done great, because we've been to the rookie photo shoot, is I think it was maybe the 19 or the 18, maybe they started in 18, is they started giving these guys like incentives to sign more. Like there was like Kobe autographed shoes if they signed 7,000 stickers.
It was like drone.
There was like a drone there was different levels because they were aware that like, hey, I know these guys are getting this is on top of what the per autograph, whatever they're signing. They just want these guys to be motivated to give them as many autographs as possible. And these guys don't like that. You talk to any of the guys at the rookie photo shoot, and they're like, I've been signing all day. Nobody's super excited about that. They know that's their job, and that's their kind of their thing that they need to do for this event, and they do it as much as possible. But, I'm sure Panini was dealing with guys that signed 200 autographs and bounced.
Yep.
Well, it's like, well, do you want some Kobe shoes? Do you want a drone? Like, you got to sign more. And we're not only going to pay you, but we're going to give you incentive. They've done their best to try to get it. But, frankly, these guys that have $20, $30 million deals, why do they want to sign for $20 an auto or whatever it is? Now, Fanatics may pay more, and there is some incentives with Fanatics. Fanatics does give players profit sharing, so they maybe have a little bit leverage there. But I think it's just, young kids and young players, they've got other things they're doing. Maybe some of them are building a family, and, their lives are too busy to do this. And, you sign them up for a product, and maybe they can't fulfill their obligations because they're too busy, or they get, God forbid, the COVID. Now we're going to get a little COVID notification on the podcast.
2 of them probably.
Yep. But, God forbid something like that happens, and then they can't even travel to sign. So there's a lot of hurdles in getting these redemptions. C-Rad, what do you think? What do you think is in terms of like improving redemption? Is there anything that they can do?
The only thing that I can think of is if we started going. And I just one tidbit real quick. I'm not Conrad.
You Raider fan?
Changed.
I'm not Conrad. No, if they get rid of autographs and they make it more of
we don't need that.
I know, but I'm saying like that would get rid of redemptions if it went more towards a paralleled, numbered and base cards instead of guaranteed autographs. And now, over to Conrad. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No problem. Adding on top of what you guys are saying already, I think after listening to him talk on this interview, if anybody can pull it off with the kind of money that Fanatics has and Topps has, Fanatics and Topps together, and with the Topps experience already, the guys that have been there, I think I'm hopeful that they can figure it out. I really am. Topps already in general does a pretty good job, and I know they only deal with one sport, so it's a little bit easier for them. When they had multiple sports, you did see more redemptions from them as well, as many as probably as Panini. But in general, I feel like Topps already does a pretty good job with not only not having as many redemptions as Panini, but also fulfilling them a lot faster. So with Rubin at the helm and Fanatics taking over, and the resources that they have and the profit sharing and the leverage they'll be able to have over like with the players, because like they're like, hey, you guys are gonna benefit off of this too, so let's get this done, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very optimistic that they're gonna be able to solve this and not have, like, if not zero redemptions, very little redemptions.
I'm just
in
scared
their
that
profit.
they start
the
throwing
products.
people out because, like, yes, you need the rookies to Dan's point, but like, say they're like, oh, we just can't get Curry to sign. Well, now he's not going to be in the product. Like, I'd rather have a Curry redemption.
Can't get Brady.
Can't get Brady. Okay, and so then you start picking out products that you need some of these pivotal guys to get in, and you're just like, we don't want to deal with redemption, so we're not going to put it in there. But like, I think collectors, that's the funny thing is collectors don't want redemptions, but if they pull a Curry card that sells for $15,000, it's a redemption. They're going to take that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and to the same point, Curry customers don't want redemptions, but if they get an auto of a guy that's not as high tier as Curry or Brady, if they get a Alex English, they're gonna be pissed about that. Oh, Alex English is on the checklist. No Steph Curry on the checklist.
Right.
Like, what's going on with this product?
Exactly.
Sorry, we had to replace Steph Curry with Alex English.
And maybe
we're
they should.
trying to move away from redemptions. You understand, right?
Well, and you've seen some questionable redemptions, like, you know, and no hating on like Grandmama or something, but like,
Yeah.
if you get like a Larry Johnson, he's like, just, you know, you don't need it, right? Like, just.
I mean, I also don't want to sound like it sounds like Doug and myself are like pro redemption. Like, we're not. We don't want to see redemptions, but we know, unfortunately, they do add value to the products. Again, because you don't want to have a product that is missing these marquee players.
Yeah, and there's a fine line of value too. But yeah, like, you can't, like, what if Cade Cunningham didn't sign and they're like, whatever, we'll make a product without him, you know? So I feel like Fanatics is learning, but they're still a little green. So it's like if they take over and they're just like, you know, half the checklist is gone.
That's
because
true.
of the redemptions, and they're like, hey, aren't you happy there's no redemptions? I don't think collectors will be happy.
Would you, I mean, the other way of thinking about it, would you prefer 2,500 points instead of a Tom Brady auto?
No.
I don't think any collector would, right?
No.
I think if they and he's got it right. He says take better care of collectors. That is the main point. I think the fatigue on redemptions, the most fatigue on redemptions is guys that have waited 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I think it's people can wait 3 to 6 months, you know, maybe a year at most. But I think you have to be better and maybe even more proactive as a company to say, hey, this is what's happening. You know, a lot of these, you hear the same story again. I don't have the patience to call, but I've heard so many of my customers that say, I was on the phone with Panini I waited for an hour and a half, and they told me I had to call back, and I called the next day, and then they didn't answer my call, and then I sent them an email, they didn't respond. And you have all that, right? So I think that's the challenge. Is if collectors knew that there was an expiration date, or I mean, like I need to get this auto by this date, I think they'd be fine by it. But right now, I think the redemption cloud is there's no guarantee on what date you're going to get it.
It's just going to take forever.
You probably see this on Twitter as well. And every time the story of Topps and redemption comes up, there is this one Twitter account, I don't know the name off the top of my head, but he always posts a picture of I think it's a Mike Piazza, Tom Seaver dual auto. That is from like 2012 or 2013 that they never obviously redeemed.
I think it's the Mets collector that used to buy
for the
it.
obvious facts that, I mean, Tom Seaver had passed away. What do you think the best recourse is for situations like that? I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to like maybe get like a Mike Piazza auto that is lower numbered, but you're not going to get the dual auto. Not going to happen. What do you think? What can manufacturers do in like unfortunate circumstances like that?
Just leave the Tom Seaver part blank and send them it with Mike Piazza's. I don't know. I mean,
or find another sticker auto of a Hall of. I don't know. Nolan Ryan was a Hall of Fame Met pitcher. You could throw him on there. That would make up. I think most people would feel like that would make up for it.
Sure.
I'm sure. Again, it's easy. Like, what stickers you got lying
but
around?
I mean,
I
think I've seen that tweet with that picture of that redemption at least 20 times.
No, I think you need to get a medium and just try to get, bring in Seaver in and sign through.
It's
the,
just one
through
of those
the medium.
things. That, like,
work.
I know
Hollywood medium.
I know
right?
somebody from Topps has seen that same tweet. Like, somebody needs to step in and be like, "What do we got to do to just make this go away?"
Unfortunately,
every day.
Exactly, and there's a lot of that though. It's almost overwhelming for whoever runs their customer service or their redemption department to actually it's one of those things that you like kind of dig a hole, and then by the time you're done digging that hole to fix it, there's more dirt gets thrown on there, and it's like a never-ending thing. So
Hole? It's a never-ending hole.
it's well, I mean, you're never
Bottomless
getting
pit.
anywhere. You're never digging in. You're never fixing the problem. It's just continually to pile up on you.
I think that why I think Rubin has the confidence to say something like we are going to get rid of redemptions, and because I think the fear of like. Does that just mean like, oh, we couldn't get Derek Jeter's auto for this product? Well, there's not going to be any of his autos in this product, which is something I think there's a legit fear there. But I think that Fanatics has so much built-in sports relationships with the NFL, all these leagues, and with the Players Associations, and the Players Associations are now getting a better deal now. Now they are all, like, the players are getting more money back now than they were previously. So I think that they are trying to sweeten the pot as much as possible to be like, look, we've given the Players Association a bigger cut than they used to. We're giving the leagues a bigger cut than they used to. So now you got to do your part of this, and I think also the Fanatics may have more autos lying around and more stuff that they can make up for it, whether it be signed jerseys, signed memorabilia, stuff like that. So I think that they are banking on all these relationships, and again that they have done so much to basically give the leagues and the players everything that they would want, because there's the players and they know what's happening in this in the sports card world to some extent. They know things have blown up, and I think that by getting a fairer cut, that is their sort of logic of like, that's how we're going to get rid of redemptions. We're just giving them more money.
I got an idea. This is a good idea.
All right.
This is a good idea.
Lay it on
You
us.
shut it off.
All right. Yeah. No. Then I'm done. What about if you actually insert the autograph cards, but not autoed, into the set, right? Hear me out. So you have the shaded area that it says top certified autograph, and I know you're probably going to have like a rebuttal to this, but just hear me out. You can go and basically there's scheduled times where this player will make an appearance, maybe somewhere in your area or an autograph signing, and you get to show up and get your card signed because you have the Topps certified autograph, essentially live redemption. That way you get to meet the player and get an in-person
This
autograph.
is-
on
And
the
that's
card.
all fine and dandy, Dan, if we were all not shady.
This
So-
is
I
also
knew there was going to be a rebuttal.
No, that's
Here's
all
a great
fine and dandy.
idea, Dan.
This is the equivalent of you gave me a sweater that's a size too big or small on Christmas. Now you just gave me a chore. You are making me run an
Oh,
errand.
so you don't want to meet the player?
No, it's fine, but it's like I'd rather just have the auto right there. It's like now I gotta like I had things to do.
Now you got to
on
put pants on and go
Yes!
outside?
Precisely. I had errands to run on Saturday. I had stuff to do. I had to mow the lawn.
I don't
and
want
now-
to meet Derek Jeter.
No.
I got to leave my house now.
Yeah.
So how's the auto certified? Does it now get a sticker on it to be certified from the player? That's the only way you can do it.
It already has like the shaded. I mean, it's the same thing. You
Well,
just,
then yeah.
I know. You're gonna have
I'm gonna
people.
say that you're gonna have guys practicing the
You're gonna
auto.
have people who are gonna sign it and then sell it. I get it. Maybe you do have like a sticker that goes on it or something, but. Man,
But I agree with you from I agree.
that
with
idea
you.
is awesome.
I agree with you from an aesthetic though. Like, don't use just those plain blue redemptions or the white redemptions. Actually, have the card, and then just put like this is a redemption where the autograph is.
and then you get to
but at least,
then
like-
you get to redeem it in person and meet the player and then get the autograph. And then
you could do that. I mean, maybe that's what Rubin.
maybe
Rubin wants
they
to
just
do.
have like every signing that they do, they have a stack of like cards that they go, oh, you got that redemption. Here you go. You're
Sorry.
gonna meet me now.
I'm saying from
Again, Cody's like, I gotta get dressed and go do this. I gotta sit in traffic.
Sorry, Clay
and-
Thompson. I gotta clean the grout in my tiling. I got stuff to do. I'm a busy man.
Busy man. I was just thinking from the aesthetics of looking at like you hit a big redemption like a logo man, or like you hit that triple auto Curry, Luka, and Trey. And like it sucks to show it on video, like it would
We
be
can't
nice
even.
to.
I don't even really like to take pictures of it because it's like it's cool, but it's like you don't get the same effect. If you,
right.
How about like a digital NFT cameo type of like?
I didn't even think that is how they're going to do this. It's going to be, oh, we don't have enough autos. what if we gave you a 1-of-1 NFT of Steph Curry
And
it's
like a personalized like, hey, what's up? Thanks for pulling my card.
I'm out of the NIFT game.
I'm still huge in NFT, so I'm down with that actually.
I think though
Got ideas, man. I got ideas.
I mean,
man.
We're seeing a microcosm of the hobby right here. You had half of it going, nah, I'm out, and half of it, hell yeah, I'm in. And I just think it would be too divisive.
I actually
too divided.
And I have no opinion really whatsoever
Right,
on either one of them. I can take NFTs or not take NFTs, but I came up with the idea, so roll with it.
Before we get any further, before we move on, I think another point that he made that I thought was interesting is he said that the marketing in the hobby needs to improve, because I think he said that the budget is less than 1% according to him towards marketing in sports cards,
which is something that we've known that you know.
Well, but they let us market it for them.
Yeah,
that's why.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
which is like their way of like.
What about if you
marketing.
put like all of their partners' marketing into place and have that as a dollar amount?
Right.
I bet it's more than 1%. Because you're right, Doug. Like, I wish I could have a company do the marketing for us.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what. But I was also thinking, we definitely need more marketing. But how do you convey it? It's like how do you convey it in a commercial? How do you convey it in print? How do you convey it on social media that this product's coming out and there's 4 autographs, so you have a chance at a Mahomes, and then people are going to think that it's very hard to market this. And there's probably a way to do it, and guys like him being very smart will probably figure out ways to do it. But I would love that. I would love more in-stadium stuff. I think they need to give more packs out at stadiums. Maybe when you're walking in, you get a pack of Panini if you're going
like
to
the way they
Warriors
give
game.
out Bobo's heads.
Yeah, I mean, and that would be.
I mean, why don't we start doing in-stadium giveaways? You know how they section 218, row 14, you all get Yeti coolers? Like, why don't we just do like that, but with boxes of baseball cards?
I mean, we got trading card days in most.
No, but how about a whole box? Like, here's a whole box of Topps Chrome for this whole row.
Damn.
And then you just have people ripping packs in that whole row.
Where are they giving out Yeti coolers to?
My wife got one at a Giants game.
Really?
She had to carry it back on the cow train, and it was a giant Yeti cooler.
Damn.
Or her whole section one.
Her whole row.
Wow.
Oh, this was one row.
It was one row, and it wasn't like a little Yeti cooler. It's a giant Coors Light branded Yeti cooler.
Yeah, they have to start doing stuff like that. That'd be awesome.
I mean, you got in some stadiums you have 40,000 fans, 50,000 fans. I mean that's probably a lot cheaper than running a 30-minute or 30-second ad on a major game, right? So dollars to dollars.
Plus all those people will bring it home. They'll rip it up and they'll be like, that was interesting.
No, have people rip it up. Like, leave the camera on them. Bring like 4 or 5 cameras up there and have like in between the inning, like you have people ripping it and you're just like showing out the cards like on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, but you can't really give hits out that way, right?
I'm saying you get a whole box
Series 1 or whatever
of Topps Chrome.
or Topps Chrome.
I definitely have noticed the cards advertised way more during baseball, MLB TV, baseball games. I've noticed it way more there than any other sport. Now it's the other sports have to catch up, which is crazy because I think in baseball, I think when the outside world thinks of like cards, they say baseball cards, but when you're in this world, baseball is easily third in this world.
It's
which is
now that I'm thinking about it, though, Panini had the Summer League banners like the whole
did.
time.
And they
had Mahomes. When Mahomes got drafted, the Panini banner was behind him.
That's
so
true.
they've went out and done that. A lot of soccer stuff they've done. They had Kobe playing soccer one time for a World Cup release in 2014, and he had autos in 2014 World Cup.
There's definitely room to improve. I think though,
basketball was doing a lot. Like a lot of their pregame shows, they had like
Grant Hill opening
up packs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's looking more at Topps than Panini first, because I feel like Panini's done a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to explain this whole thing in an ad. So that's what's really confusing.
And I think, Doug, we were talking before. I think you were talking about that. You could say, you're going to get up to 4 autos. You could pull, you could pull LeBron, no, not LeBron James, but you could pull LaMelo Ball auto or Mike Trout or whatever it may be. And then the disappointment maybe of the outsider coming in and going, well, I didn't get any of these guys. Like, what's the point?
Right. I thought I was going to guarantee based on your imagery.
But I think that again, I don't want want to make a 1-to-1 comparison to what we do in like betting, but like as the sports fan community becomes more accepting of a game of chance like betting and saying, well, it's just fun, it makes it more fun. I mean, I think that idea of like, well, it's always a game of chance, and even with cards, it's not like you end up with nothing at the end of the day. You end up with, you break it open with your kids, or you see those cards down the road and you go, oh, look at these, I used to collect these. So you're still ending up with something fun and tangible with the added chance of, for a sort of sports betting community, oh, I could also possibly make a lot of money doing this. There's always that outside chance.
And I actually, this is kind of off topic, but it's still a Fanatics topic, and it's just something for you guys to think about. And I want to make the statement that I don't care about game used or player worn. I just like a nice patch. But if Fanatics takes over, what do you think there's going to be more of in terms of relics?
I think we're going towards the player worn.
I mean, what kind of inventory do they have?
They have a lot of jerseys and a lot of hats. I mean, literally everything.
I think the player worn is a thing that will never go away.
But I think it's a match made in heaven for them, right? Because you've got, X amount of jerseys. They
and thinking about it like on the same conversation, because they have so much inventory, we can start seeing, maybe long gone are the days where we just see the single color jersey.
True. Yeah.
And everything has a nice patch.
I mean, I've been saying this for a while. Like, there is definitely an investment opportunity for picking up true game-used relics.
There could be, but if you look at the sales, it doesn't matter.
I know, but it may, in 10, 15 years, it may matter.
Well, and I think where the play is, and don't hate me for that, I'm just saying, you look at the sales, it doesn't matter. If there was a significant difference on a game worn, use a player worn, then I would say you're right. But game worn, just it doesn't matter price-wise. Where I think the play is on like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, guys that have since long retired, and there's only going to be a finite amount of their jerseys out there, right?
Sure.
So I think that's the play. But I know we're running. We got like 19 more minutes here. We've got
and we have about
75 more topics.
Yeah, 13 more topics.
So I mean, we could briefly touch on the card shows. I was at the Burbank Card Show on Sunday. It was madness on Sunday. I heard it was even crazier on Saturday. I heard there was a 2-hour line to get in on Saturday. In fact, some collectors waited in line and didn't even get in because they closed by the time they could get in because there was still a long line throughout the day. A good problem to have. It just shows you how well the hobby is alive and thriving. So Sunday was great. I mean, there was another long line, but not quite as long. I got in, and it was like you couldn't fit any more people in that place. And this was on Sunday, so lots of stuff going down. You had your influencers there. You had tag grading, which I sat through and seemed like. As much as I saw the picture on somebody else's social media account and I wanted to laugh, I actually sat through a presentation. And they look like they have their stuff together. I'll have to wait and see what they do, but they're brand new. It was a lot of cool stuff going down. Props to Rob Veras out there throwing a good show. The airport was literally walking distance to the show, so
that's awesome.
That's why I went, because I was like, I could hop off the airplane, walk to the show, and then go right back when I'm done. So I went out there Sunday, bought some cards, spent my money real fast. And Dan was set up at the All Cards weekend in Denver. So he can talk a little bit about that. So,
all right, the All Cards weekend in Denver, Colorado. I'd like to first off thank John and Mike for putting on an absolutely awesome show. Super well attended. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday night was like kind of like a preview night, 4 to 8. Heavy foot traffic throughout the whole show. Tons of autograph signings from the Denver Broncos, which was pretty cool. And I saw Jake Plummer was there, and he was
Jake the Snake.
He was inscribing Mile High Mushroom Farmer.
Oh hell yeah!
Which was pretty dope.
If anyone's like, why would he do that? Just Google what Jake Plummer looks like now and what he now does for a living, and you'll get it.
So I don't even have to Google it. I can guess.
So that was awesome. Yeah, lots of.
I think you could take away the mile, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Lots of single cards. Any card you could really think of was out there. A lot of baseball, a lot of football. Surprisingly, hockey cards, super hot. We don't have. I mean, obviously the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, so that kind of got everybody looking for the Kel McCars and stuff like that. But it was crazy. We sold out completely of hockey wax.
Nice.
Which was surprising. You set up in the Bay Area, and you may sell a box or two of hockey. So that was
Sharks County, baby.
What's
that was
hockey?
Hockey. Yeah, it was pleasant
Oh,
surprise.
yeah, change your voice for it too.
Hockey.
Huh? Oh, okay. You gotta
Yeah.
say it from the stomach.
Yeah,
there.
you gotta get that growl out there.
One thing I noticed, and I wanted to ask you about it, is, I mean, the amount of youth walking around. I mean, and I know we've talked about this at the National as well, but, like, same thing at the Burbank show. I was like, there's 10, 11, 12-year-old
Lot of
kids with their
kids.
little cases and stuff, and, you know, even in their teens. And then, of course, you got your 20-year-olds. And it's a nice thing to see, right?
I had
It's
some
just
kids.
the
I had some
future.
kids like heavily negotiating on boxes too. It was a good time.
That's
it was
awesome.
a good time. One kid came up to
art
me and he was
of the
like,
deal.
he's all, yeah. He's like, I figured I'd come up to your guys' booth on Sunday because I know dealers don't want to leave with product. And I'm like, okay, okay.
How old is this
He
kid?
was like 10.
No.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I was like, I love it.
A little shark, like that kid's gonna be.
Oh, you're hired.
Yeah,
He's def.
Is that Mark Cuban's son? Or?
a little Shark Tank right there.
That was Gary's V son, dude.
Yeah. Exactly. Getting them started young.
Little kids asking, "How your margins looking?" Like, who are you, kid? Get out of here.
So to basically close out the all card show in Denver, I think they're going to be doing 2 shows next year. If you're in the area, even if you're not in the area, I would definitely go out there. We will be setting up both times next year. I think it's a can't miss show. So yeah, again, props to John and Mike.
It's
Putting it
awesome.
on.
Yeah, the hobby is live and well. You know, you've got your old. It's just the generations of collectors now is great to see, and it gives you a lot of hope for the future of this hobby and its growth.